most of our experience that we've gotten is because we've taken on different and unique projects and haven't been afraid to try something new. And I'll be honest with my clients, if it's something that I've never done before, being honest with people goes a long way. And I love the opportunity to be able to tackle new projects and learn new things to the company and then being able to master it.
And that made us go from 2 vans to 10 in a year, making those scary choices. Not every employee wanted to stick with us. Some chose to be laid off, and that's fine, but some guys really needed to work. They couldn't live on unemployment, and that was before a lot of the programs, stuff like that. But us, we had around our kitchen table and made this choice that was scary, and it was the right one.
Welcome to Wicked Wraps podcast here in Mukilteo, Washington. Do not forget, it's wickedwraps.net. We are your certified 19-year wrap company, helping your car look stylish or your business too. This is my business partner, Christopher Goff here, helping on our podcast today. And I'm going to go ahead and take this moment to introduce you guys to 2 great guests that we've had the pleasure of doing business with for well over a decade now. This is the owner, husband and wife owner of Dickson Electric. This is Kurt over here on our left side, and this is his beautiful better half, Liz. And we're going to take a moment to just kind of talk about what Kurt and Liz do as owners of an electrical company out of Snohomish, Washington. So first, I'm just going to kick this off. Why electrical? What got you guys involved?
Well, really, I just kind of fell into it, really. Out of high school, I joined the military, and I was my first unit was at aids navigation, and so I basically took care of light flashers on buoys, on the end of jetties, maintain batteries and solar panels, and that's when I realized, oh man, this is kind of cool stuff, and decided to go to school, through the Coast Guard, and got the title as an electrician's mate.
Nice.
Did that for the next 3 years, and then decided to go and try to do this for the private sector. And so got out of the military and joined the apprenticeship, and it's basically what I've been doing ever since.
Nice. So you first started out serving for our country, went out, found your love for not wanting to get shocked, basically, so you could become a certified electrician and get the right kind of schooling. That's pretty awesome. I didn't know that you did that. Chris and I are big people in regards to people having served for our country, and mad respect for doing that, and then it leading you into where you are now. You got anything to add to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your service, by the way. Yeah, that's wonderful. Would you just do us a favor? Tell us how you 2 met.
So actually in high school.
In high school.
So we're
like cliche high school sweetheart.
I love that.
Right?
That's cool.
Yes.
Definitely. So
he went into the military because, in our families, we didn't have a lot of options, right? Not, college or anything. So he went into the military and he got stationed in San Pedro, California. Okay. And he called me up from boot camp and he was like, Liz, I'm not coming back to Washington, going to California. I was like, oh, that's okay. I'll come down and visit you. And he was like, or we could get married. And I was like, you want to get married? We're 18. And he was like, I'm thinking about it. I was like, no, you said it. We're doing it. So we did. We got married.
It made a lot more sense to get married, to move around. Military, and it was just the right decision.
Nice. So you guys have been married like a year, right? Because you're newlyweds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a few years. Yeah. So and it was super fun in the military because you do move around a lot, and he because he took care of lighthouses, we got to tour lighthouses privately. It was really fun.
Wow.
That's cool.
So it was a neat thing. And then he did electrical and boats for a long time. So
I have a fascination with lighthouses. There's something about them. They're just, they're so serene. They're ornate. It just, when you go to a really gorgeous coastline, that's the one thing you see off in the distance. And it kind of captures the moment of what it was like back in the day. So that's neat that you found kind of a passion for electricity. When you exited the military, was that a drive that pulled you or pushed you into this particular business, or did you kind of drift around a little bit before you said, this is what I want to do for myself?
I was pretty direct in what I wanted to do. I actually was able to acquire an apprenticeship while I was active duty. So I started getting accredited hours logged for for when I moved back home here to Washington, I actually entered into an apprenticeship program with like, what was it, 5,600 hours already?
Oh, wow.
And so I was over halfway through my apprenticeship course before I even started. So it really gave me a huge head start. I mean, within 2 years, I had my journeyman card, and I was doing, we did a lot of schools. The first company I worked with, the first and last company I worked for in the private sector before I started my own company was Steel Electric, or Steel Corp, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did my apprenticeship. I got my my journeyman card, and I moved right into a foreman position and started running projects. And then after that, the company shut down, and I pretty much started my own company at that point.
Yeah, they retired. So that's one of the reasons he went out on his own. But he finished, just for reference, to be an O1 commercial electrician. It's a 5-year program, and he finished it in 2 because of the military, which is really neat. And really worked hard on the schooling and stuff like that. So he was ambitious.
That's fantastic.
So would you recommend to the listeners, or maybe some of the young people out there that might tune into this podcast, that are maybe thinking like, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do right now. Would you say that potentially maybe going to the military, looking at the Coast Guard, or doing something like that would be a good avenue for you to log those hours, kind of like running start in a way, except utilizing the military to help gain that potential advantage? Would you say that that's something you would recommend someone to potentially travel that path?
Yeah, I mean, if you're graduating high school and you don't really know what you want to do, maybe college isn't for you. Definitely a 4-year term in the service is not a bad way to go. I mean, besides, there's also all sorts of benefits that you can get from that as well. So for me, I didn't have the option to go to college. I don't come from a wealthy family, and that I didn't have the best grades through high school, so there was no scholarships being handed my way. And so, for me, it made sense, and it opened up a lot of doors for me in the future. And it's not a lifetime commitment either. I mean, 4 years is just, and it's a blink. It's over in a blink.
Yeah. Well, especially if you're going in at, 18 years old. And you're coming out to mid-20s.
Plus, you get some really cool experiences.
Yeah.
Potentially travel the world. Sure. And then maybe you'll discover what it is that you actually like in life.
Yeah.
Well, it proves that also there is a way if you have the will. We really truly try to tell everyone that we meet, Wade and I, as we go out, we speak, we talk, or we educate, whether it's here at the shop or we're with friends, is that it doesn't matter if it's something that you don't think you can do. You'll miss every shot you don't take. Gretzky, one of the best hockey players of all time, that was his motto. You'll miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. And so if you really push yourself in life, it's all about taking that initiative, but it's also realizing that there's more than one way to capture a goal. And it doesn't, if you don't know it, it doesn't mean that, she doesn't know it, or it doesn't mean that Wade doesn't know it. So open yourself up, be vulnerable to an option. And then have that ability to just say, listen, let's throw it into the wind and see what happens. Let's not always get caught up thinking this is where we should be, or this is where God has a plan for us. Get into a notion that where you are is where you're supposed to be, but it doesn't mean that it's not where you're going to be tomorrow. Always have that adaptability to move and modify your life. And if you're good with that, you're good with life coming over you like a wave and just being tumbled and recognizing that is where you're supposed to be. And you're going to come up scarred sometimes. But the fact is you got up in life. You battled through wondering what you were going to do because you didn't have the best of grades or maybe not, the ability to get a grant or have enough money to go to college. But what you're teaching your employees, what you're teaching your children, what you're teaching your friends and family, but also what you're teaching each other on a daily basis is every day that we wake up is a gift that we have. And every day that we wake up together and we challenge through these obstacles is a day that we're going to be even more successful tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And I would probably like to think that you probably made many relationships through that process. You probably still have some friends that you probably still talk to.
Definitely.
Part of that. And it just goes back to even in day in and day out business, me and Christopher always talk about it's relationships. relationships that we build and relationships that also shape us as business owners. And trying to always know that when we're, talking with people and doing business with people versus it being like, hey, it costs this, it's going to cost that, it's going to cost this. Instead, we're just focused on, hey, what is it? Are we listening? Are we really getting everything that customer is looking for? Did we really deliver the best wrap design we could do for them? And, so again, it just goes back to that relationship aspect. My backstory is not a lot different from yours in regards to not having college, not coming from money, no scholarships. I could have potentially got a scholarship for a wrestler, but I opted not to. Here I am 19 years later, only because I was willing to do the work that others weren't willing to do.
Well, and I think in business, what I've learned too, it's not just the work, it's the risk. A lot of people are afraid, like you're talking about, to take that risk because owning your own business is a risk.
You really got to step out of your own comfort level.
Like you just said, you really do. And there's so many people unwilling to take the risk. And
there's so many people out there that are just comfortable in the day-to-day, the 9 to 5, they don't got to worry about tomorrow type thing. And, and
they're in what we call auto drive.
Yes.
And
that's great.
And next year,
like
5 years from now, and 10 years from now, they're going to be in the same exact place they were.
Exactly. It's that's a perfect way to put it. So cruise control or walking around in life with blinders on, structured. If you just walk around in your life, not realizing that you have to focus on the rest of the world, it's like that chihuahua that you put in a kennel. It only has to protect so much. So most people like that. They like having a structured job, going home and watching TV, and just having really not a lot of responsibility. But then they turn around and they go, man, I wish my life was different. I wish it was better. I wish I had that. I wish I could do this or go on that trip. And you really have to be able to take those blinders off and feel not necessarily the fear, because fear is really, it's an imagination. If you feel uncomfortable, being comfortable, and be comfortable being uncomfortable. Put yourselves in those situations, that ebb and flow of saying, listen, I'm going to try something, even though it makes me uncomfortable. That's the path to success. So
a lot of people, I think, sometimes will confuse uncomfortableness for fear. A lot of times, if you're willing to get beyond that, then all of the opportunities that you're searching for, all of that success that you're searching for is beyond that. But you have to get beyond it, and you have to be willing to go beyond it. And when you start to make those potential leaps in your business or in your personal life, I've done it. Chris has seen it, and probably the last 18 months of my life, and also just within this business in regards to how we're doing things nowadays, and that's huge. We don't let fear drive us in this business.
So that's a big, huge thing, especially teaching my kids. We have a 17-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 10-year-old. And my motto is always like, do something that scares you every day, right? Also, if you don't ask or you don't think, you're still in the same spot. So why not ask? Because maybe they say no, you're still there. But what if they say yes? Then you're still, So that's really important, what you just said. And it's huge. Like, you cannot let fear rule anything. Just do it scared. Do it.
I love that you both come from that military. So having a structure of having the military give you some elements of how you should live and strategize your life, and have that methodical, strategic element. Has that helped you run your business?
You definitely have to be structured when you're trying to run a business. Every aspect of the company has to have a plan. We have to have basically a manual on how the company operates, right? And so that all has to, the military definitely helped me create that. And
it's really organized. Kim.
But going back to like the fear thing that you were talking about, also in our business, there's rarely a project that we've ever turned down because we didn't know how to do it, or we were scared to tackle something. Most of our experience that we've gotten is because we've taken on different and unique projects and haven't been afraid to try something new. And I'll be honest with my clients, if it's something that I've never done before, I'll say, hey, this is something that we haven't done, and I'm more than willing to give it a shot and do our best. Being honest with people goes a long way, and just, I love the opportunity to be able to tackle new projects and learn new things.
Yeah.
For the company, and then being able to master it, and then sell it to the next customer. So, anyways, I think the military's helped me in a lot of different ways running the business, but
Yeah.
Things sink. Yeah.
Well, and I think all that stuff is good in regards to, having structure in the business. We look at like the installs and things that we do around here and all that sort of stuff. And, it's important to me that the guys are getting as close to what I can do as an installer. Are they me? No, they're not me. They'll never be me. I'm not asking them to be me. I'm just saying, give me your best, stand back from your work, say it looks awesome. In regards to, difficult projects, I mean, almost every day I get asked weird, crazy requests. There's times where we have to say no because it's just not the right fit, or we can't get something to stick to, the item that they're asking us to wrap.
Yeah.
But, we get a lot of crazy projects, even with like the North Shore Utility District and, working on this interior project. Like everybody just thinks we wrap cars, and they have no idea that I've done over 100 wall wraps, all uniquely different, but it still is just, over the head.
Yeah.
But I love those challenges. Sometimes we agree to do something and we get, 90% of the way through a project and we're like, oh shit, that didn't work out right, guys. That doesn't fit.
Yeah.
And, a lot of shops would just be like, okay, well, let's just cut it right here and let's just slap on this thing and seam it and call it good. And instead, a lot of times what we have to do is just yard the whole side of the car, rip the whole thing off, go back to computer, reprint it, send an email to our client, say, hey, we ran into a little bit of a snag here in the design. We're going to make a few adjustments, and can we have an extra day or two?
Mm-hmm.
But I also think with that comes some willing to accept some failure in that aspect, because without taking on that, potential scary project, that there's potentially a chance you're going to find failure there. Yeah. But through failure, you find success, you find solutions. And when you get that opportunity presented to you again, you're way more equipped and dialed in on the second time that comes around. By the third time, you've nailed it. And by the fourth time, it's like, give me something new to challenge me.
Yeah.
And so I think that stuff is super important.
Absolutely.
So you have kids. Any of the kids in the family talk about, taking over mom and dad's operation ever? Is that something that's in the family or?
Well, one thing that I will say, starting our own business and taking the risk, we've really been able to provide better opportunities for our children.
Good.
In many different ways. One of them is like, he plays the piano beautifully. He just got fourth in state. Like, he competes with it. And like, these are things that he's, but what's really cool is he is actually going to college and he's going to do electrical engineering because he's really good at math, and he sees, but he has said, like, just watching you guys, I'm probably not going to be good at this 9-to-5 thing. Yeah. So I'm going to need to figure out something where I can make money. And if you be an electrical engineer, the opportunities are endless. And you could set up your own little company where you make prints for construction sites or whatever. There's so many different avenues, right? So we talked about that. Yes. And I said, we can throw you projects. So they do see that. And they,
And I think that our oldest, he really sees what we've built, and he really appreciates what we do for the community and how we're a part of the community.
Yeah.
And where we came from. Because, like, I came from a trailer park. So,
he's very, very social. And I think that part of the reason he wants to go into the electrical engineering is so that he can have some sort of stake in the company. I think he wants to be able to have the knowledge
and bring something to it.
Not so much the hands-on construction knowledge, but he wants to be able to help out with, maybe he could meet an estimator or bid large commercial
or do
projects.
load smokes or takeoffs on all these projects, stuff like that.
There's definitely in the future a place for someone with an electrical engineering degree in our company.
Yeah. I see it like a plug and play. It's like an extension.
Yeah.
Of business,
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden it's like, okay, we have an engineer who can not only design and engineer stuff for our company, but now we can also sell these engineer plans to other companies that maybe don't have an in-house engineer.
We could offer design build projects.
People ask us that all the time. Can we design build? We don't have the capability of doing that. And so if we could if that really works out, I mean, I really think it could be a neat thing.
Well, I mean, I would encourage them to chase it, only because, part of why I am where I am today is because of my dad. My dad still today, at 76 years old, works for Honeywell. He is an engineer. He engineered HVAC systems. My dad's also designed some of the thermostat systems that Honeywell uses today.
Okay.
And then outside that, where I think your kid could be in the future is a lot like what my dad has done. He works for Honeywell, and then on the side, he was building software on the side, and he was selling that software. What it is, it basically took steps that engineers were doing within a design program, and it kind of just made all those steps happen. And so he sold that program. Eventually, Honeywell saw him selling it, and then they offered to buy it out from him.
Oh, cool.
So now Honeywell still uses that software today that my dad developed. He still works for them. And so I could see, I would encourage your kid to chase that dream, because I could see so many opportunities in the future for engineers being able to develop new ideas, new ways to make programs out there that exist, where he's probably smart enough to figure out how to make a program even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And see, that's what we try to tell people is simplify your life. Simplify the opportunities that come to you. Stop complicating everything. And having that ability to just open up the doors of your own home, rather than stepping outside and say, I'm going to rule the world, which is, it's a lot of responsibility. It's overcomplicated. And speaking to your child as opposed to just talking to him, and hearing him as opposed to just listening to him, compartmentalize what he's looking for, helping him be part of a better thing, a greater thing. I mean, if you can do something or you can do it, great. And what you're doing is you're helping him recognize something. And that is the military model, right?
Yeah.
Recognize, analyze, adapt, and overcome. And if you just do those simple formalities, you're gonna be able to not only benefit your children, but benefit your business along with the help of everyone else around you.
So I would like to add to that. So having kids, I'm really, really involved in the volunteering community. I'm totally one of those annoying mothers that's a part of all things, which has really helped our business.
Good.
Because I got my name out there. Oh, Liz, they own an electric. Oh, I need help with this.
Yeah.
We do a lot of the Snohomish School District stuff. We're actually installing
relationships.
Yes, stadium lighting right now. All of our guys are out there at the high school where both my kids go. And so just building that from the beginning before we even started our company, just being out there and being a part of the community. And now we sponsor teams. We sponsor like the Boys and Girls Club. We do a ton of stuff like that, just being a part of it. And I, because I wanted it was important that my kids had better opportunities than we did, and just being a part of it has made that, the relationships like you talk about, talking to everybody, being a part of all the things in a town. And so it's really made our business go from this to this. So,
well, tell me, so how many years has Dickson Electric now officially been in business?
Well, officially on paper, we bought the license in 2014,
Okay.
but we were scared, and he did not go out until by himself, quit his job until 2016 of September. Okay. So what is that?
8 years?
Almost 8 years. Yeah.
Nice.
So, and we went from, one van, one guy, we got 30 guys, we got 10 vans, 2 estimator cars. It's been really awesome.
What do you think, how did that happen? How did you guys get to, as many vehicles as you have now?
Well, we
Staying busy. I mean, we keep doing a good job. We get a lot of referral work, and before you knew it, we have to buy another van to keep up with the need for all the work.
Yeah. But one of the things that we did a little different during COVID, so when we started, it was relationships. I would say we went from 1 van to 2 vans, growing slowly, perfectly. And then COVID hit, right, which is was a really scary time for everybody. And he was worried that, we have to lay everybody off, stuff like that. Well, we made a conscious choice because electrical was essential, right? Everybody needs a light. Everybody needs their oven to work. So I actually emailed the governor and got a letter that said that. And so we were one of the only companies in town that kept working when we came to your door. We wore all our protective stuff, did all the right things, but we kept going. And that made us go from 2 vans to 10 in a year. And so I think making those scary choices, right? Even in a world, and don't believe me, not every employee wanted to stick with us.
Yeah.
Some chose to be laid off, and that's fine. But some guys really needed the work. They couldn't live on unemployment, and that was before a lot of the programs, stuff like that. But us sat around our kitchen table and made this choice that was scary. And it was the right one.
Yeah.
So,
And what do you think in regards to your vehicles out there? If you were driving around, let's say, in a naked white van, do you think people would find you as much as they have potentially found you
absolutely not. Do you know how many people call and say, "Oh, I just saw your van. Oh, I just saw your van." They literally have been the majority of our advertising from the, beginning. From the beginning, because when he first bought his first van, he got like one of those little stickers.
Right.
And I was like, "Nobody could see this. We can't do this." And he was like, he had a magnet on the side, and I have a picture of it. And, there with business comes professionalism and all these things. And so that's something I'm good at bringing to the party. I was like, "We need to go get it wrapped." He's like, "We can't afford that. We can't put money into that." I was like, "We're doing it." So, with a little argument, it happened, but it's our biggest billboard. It's been the best.
It's definitely a good choice.
Everybody talks about it.
Do you track the phone calls or emails or quotes that you
We
get
have
from the
not.
webs? Okay.
We have not, but I will say we do no other advertising besides word of mouth and those vans. So that's it.
That's a really good testimony.
Yeah. I mean, that's just so the audience knows, Dickson Electric has 8 vans, correct?
10.
10 vans.
10 vans.
Okay. 10 vans that you're going to see cruising all around the greater Northwest here. They have partial wrap designs that we design printed and installed in-house right here in Mukilteo, Washington. You can see their vehicles at wickedwraps.net. You can also go on our Instagram, see some of the Dickson Electric's vehicles on there, even some recent ones that we did for them that are 2 estimating vehicles that have some really wicked wraps on there. They look electrified beyond belief. We decided to give their estimating vehicles a little bit of a cooler, more amplified look. And then we're, talking that maybe in the future we'll potentially do a rebrand on their vans and get them more in line with the Teslas. But if you see the Teslas out there, you see the vans out there, these are good people, stop. Maybe offer to buy them a coffee or something, just saying. Or, give them an opportunity to provide a bid on your house, your commercial business. Kurt and Liz and their team has done personal work on my own house, electrical panels, installing heater upgrades, as well as, other stuff around the shop and doing 220 power setups and all sorts of stuff. So really can't go wrong. Solid, good quality people right here. Again, right in Snohomish. These are your friends. These are your neighbors. These are the types of people we want to support. We know you have so many options out there in regards to electrical contractors, but think small, shop local. Let the big companies chase the big electrical contractors. As small companies or homeowner myself, I like to try and support, the local companies as much as we humanly can. You got anything else?
Let's talk about when you go out to a customer's house. We want to set you apart. What would set you apart when you're taking that phone call? What is it that you're looking to tell the client that you want the client to hear, or when you're at their home? What is it that you do a little bit different? Something that allows you to create that referral business from them.
So one thing that we've always, kind of prided ourselves on is our communication. When we first started this company, we didn't have somebody to answer the phones. We were hard to get a hold of. Okay. And, in the more recent years, we've hired office staff that can help us, handle all the call volumes. And now we answer the phones every time they ring, and we're always on cue. I mean, we try to be as quick as we can to estimate.
Yeah, really responsive. But to lead off on his communication, contractors get kind of a bad rap for not answering or not calling back or not, especially if there are issues. That is one thing we pride ourselves on, is really good communication. We will always call you back, even if there's an issue. Let us know. We will come out and fix it, because obviously not everybody's perfect. But we'll always answer the phone. We'll always call you back. And you'll always get a response from us. So that's something that's done really well with us.
And if you do have an issue, don't be afraid to let us know.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
happy to fix it.
We're problem solvers.
Yeah.
We are going to do whatever we can to make it right, to make it feel like you got what you needed. And I mean, we're here for you.
Yeah.
To serve. And we want to do a great
I
job.
like to say we're like your friendly neighborhood electrician.
Right.
We're not out there trying to get rich. We're just trying to make a living. We just, just like everybody else. So we're, we're just doing our best.
Well, I'm going to give you guys a quick plug. I'm going to help give you guys a plug here for all the people that are tuned in and listening to this podcast. Dickson Electric does water heaters, electrical panels, wiring. They install heaters. They install lighting inside your house, outside your house.
Car chargers.
Car chargers for
Generators.
Teslas. Generators. I'm guessing you probably do Generacs, Champion, whatever you got. These guys are capable. They can get it set up, get it installed in your home. If you have a place of business, panel upgrades there, electrical upgrades there. They do lighting. In fact, they just helped out a neighbor commercial business right next to us. So again, show these guys some love. Support this local company. If you're thinking that you need to go out and purchase these things, give them an opportunity to earn your business. You will not be disappointed. They are great people. So if you're looking for those items, hit up DicksonElectric.com and or look them up on Google through Google and Snohomish. They don't have a brick and mortar, but rest assured they've got multiple vehicles, so they can get out to you as quick and as fast as you're willing to make that phone call. So again, show these guys some love.
We're not pushy either. If you want an estimate, we're not going to stand there at your door,
sign up right now
with the contract in our hand. This expires in 20 minutes type thing. I mean, we'll send you an estimate, and if you look it over, we're not going to call and bug you and, hey, did you get a minute to sign that contract? It's completely up to you if you want to do business with us or not. I mean, we offer super reasonable pricing, and we're just honest people, and we want to do honest work for our community.
Well, we appreciate it because the public, every one of us, when we have an issue with our electrical in our home, a lot of us don't have that talent, that ability. Some can change a plug or change a light, but when something really crazy needs to be added or goes wrong, we don't realize, the amount of time, the knowledge, the education that it took for you to be where you are today. So you're kind, unique, intelligent, and just an incredible person. And if people just got an opportunity to just spend 5 minutes with you, they'll see what Wade and I see, what your customers see. What we want everyone to recognize is that there is 10 times more than the man that you see here. There's the education that goes all the way back to the military of him saying, this is something I want to do with my life. This is something that I want to offer all of my friends, my customers, that aren't just clients. They're people that I want to really impress, and that I want to make sure that their life is brightened by what I have to do, pardon the pun. But with what you can do, feel free to just kind of give yourself a little bit of a plug here, because it's important for people to know who you are from the electrician, from the amount of hours that you put into what you do today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys said it all. I mean, we're just a small family-owned company, and we just want to do a good job for every one of our clients, and that's all we're about. So, I mean,
and thank you so much for letting us come on, and also helping us get all the business that we've had. Because honestly, it has
definitely
just
a lot of our business to these wraps.
Helped our children be able to.
We're not done yet. We're still going to build your business. Absolutely.
The only last thing I was going to say is, behind every good man is an even better and stronger woman, and your business is only as strong as your partner.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And you guys have a great synergy, and that's why you're propelling forward. And you're also working as a husband and wife in a business together. I know that can be challenging. And so I applaud you guys for being able to do that and work through that. We've had an amazing time working on all your guys' projects over all these years. I love working with you guys whenever you come through. It's always easy. We also, by the way, I didn't mention this earlier in the podcast, but we did also wrap another Tesla. It's Liz's personal car. So if you see a gloss sparkle sand, that's what we call that color. A lot of people want to call it champagne. If you see that cruising through Snohomish, be sure to give her a high thumbs up, or give her a little hand wave. She'd appreciate that. But again, loved having you guys on our podcast today. Really appreciate you making the time to come up here and be a part of this.
Thank you.
Again, guys, DicksonElectric.com. They're based out of Snohomish, Washington. So look them up to find out everything that they can do for you for your electrical needs. Again, this is Wade with Wicked Wraps out of Mukilteo, washington. Don't forget, it's wickedwraps.net, your 19-year certified wrap company. Thanks for tuning in.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.